Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So class tuning is coming next week, and I usually don't make videos on this. I usually talk about it on stream, but I kind of wanted to make a video on it now because some of the changes are very questionable, and I was reading other people's opinions on it in the PvP forums, and none of it was I pretty much agree with most people on it. So um most of it is obviously these are the PvE changes where it says it's not applied to PvP combat. Some of them are like, for example, if it doesn't apply to PvP combat, like lunar inspiration and ferocity damage is increased. Um, Standard stuff like that, which is not really too important. Survival's damage gone through. Restoration is through PvP. Ret Paladin's got some pretty big buffs, damage wise. And since it doesn't apply to PvP combat, Rets are going to be insane next week, but that's not my main thing that I saw, which I'll get to eventually. Shadow Priest got some pretty interesting buffs that go to PvP, so they'll be getting some more damage next week. Resto Shaman's damage is getting increased. I've never really been a fan of healers doing more damage in PvP, but yeah, there's that. And there's Armed Warriors, didn't apply to PvP combat. Okay, here we are. This is the most questionable thing I've ever seen, and this is what I'm hoping. This is why I'm making this video and hoping more people will kind of talk about it. But class specializations now gain an additional 35% armor in arenas and battlegrounds. Plate specializations are now having their armor reduced by 30% in arenas and battlegrounds. I think these two changes need to be reverted immediately, because they are very the dumbest changes I've ever seen in like ever. Not only are warlocks very tanky, they do not need to be even more tanky. They're going to be so tanky after this. They're going to be more tankier than a plate class, which honestly is I don't think should happen at all. Not to mention, discipline threes are already freaking tanky gods as it is, and they don't need to be tanky even more. I read some people's opinions on this, and some people are thinking it's to counter act the marksman hunters, and I think that was kind of dumb. But then the more I'm thinking about it, the more I like maybe that could be the reason. I mean, that's still a pretty stupid reason. Don't get me wrong, but I think these two changes need to be reverted immediately. So I'm hoping getting more people to talk about this will get this reverted, because this is pretty dang stupid in my opinion. I think this is the dumbest change I've ever seen. So I'm hoping this will get reverted. We're on Friday right now, so they don't really do anything on weekends. So their final chance is usually probably going to be on Monday. Um, but let me know what you guys think of this change, because honestly, I think it's the dumbest change I have ever seen, and I've seen a lot of changes in this game. This is one of the few dumbest things I've ever seen. I admit I'm primarily a battleground player, so I don't really enjoy arenas much. But even on my plate classes, like you can get blown up quite easily in team fights, especially on a warrior, because I don't really play with other people that often, and you can get blown up in team fights pretty easily enough as it is. And I can't even imagine warriors and DKs after this just get absolutely decimated with our lower armor reduced. But yeah, tank warlocks and discipline priests are going to be so freaking nuts with the class specializations. They both need to get reverted. That's pretty much all there is to it. I could go on and keep talking about this, but I think everybody kind of gets the point. So I'm hoping they'll revert this. Everything else is gladiators. Trinket is getting more health, which I think it was that way before and they nerfed it, so it's kind of going back to the way it was. Um, that changes whatever. I guess it just makes people more tanky again. Now increases more health for healers. Great, just what healers need. More healing or more health. All fear and root effects in PvP now take 100% more damage before canceling in PvP, which goes into some of these other ones. Like deep roots is getting nerfed by 70 instead of 250%. It's 75%. I'm guessing they did this for all of it because it's the same thing for Frost Nova as well. So I imagine it's just that way for. I don't know if this is a buff or nerf. Somebody could tell me in the comment section. I don't know if this is a buff or nerf, and it's confusing me. My brain just can't handle it. It's pretty much late at night when I'm making this. So my brain's not 100%. So if somebody can let me know in the comment section if this is a buff or not, uh, let me know. Festering wound damage. Looks like Unholy is getting some nerfs. Add to the fact that plate specialization, Unholy is going to be. Deacon General is just going to be nerfed. Moonkin Farm, I really like how they not only buffed and nerfed the specialization classes for cloth and plate, but Moonkin got an armor nerf as well. I don't think that should have happened either, but whatever. I mean, I guess I am a Moonkin main, so I guess I'm a little bit biased, but whatever. Frenzied Regeneration no longer decreased in 20% PvP for Feral Druids. I think this should have been. I don't know if it's like that for all specs. I feel like if it is nerfed for all specs, it should have done for all specs, but I'm glad this is actually finally gone because this was pretty annoying. What else is there? Some tier nerfs, but I don't. It's hard for me to keep track of everything for tier. Sub nerf, even though it's 10%. I'm glad sub got nerfed, even though it's not really gonna probably matter as much with these armor nerfs. Restoration armor nerf, but Blizzard's on a roll with these armor nerfs, man. Um, Looks like a little bit of a fury buff. Fear Nightmare increases the damage required against a fear by 30% to 60%. That's it. I don't want to make this obviously a really super long video. I just kind of want to get to the straight to the point. Um, my main issue is obviously the armor changes. I think those quite literally the most questionable changes so far. Let me know what you guys think of these changes, and that's pretty much what this video is about. See you guys later.